Oh, and there it is. That's right. Our first has already been claimed. Then Norson Wells was in here ahead of everybody else. He is today's index, the bite number 0, the man leading the charge. He's got all the answers. He's got the plan. If you're ever at a loss, you don't know what to do, just look to Norson Wells. He got here first. He's already on top of everything. How are you folks doing? It is that time. That is right. But it is our time again. Here it is. We are at another Talk Tuesday. Oh, it's going to be fantastic. It's going to be amazing. It's going to be everything you want it to be and then some. But to get things started out as in true Talk Tuesday fashion, we are going to have a celebration for Mr. Norson Wells out there grabbing that first. He is today's index. So this party, my friend, this party is just for you. So you should be getting down, dancing, partying, showing us how to get it done. That's right. Good afternoon, good evening, good morning, and welcome. I hope you guys are having a fantastic day. You are ready because we are. Yes, we are back here again. It is that time of the week. It is Talk Tuesday. If you can imagine it, already Talk Tuesday. Where does the time go? I wonder all the time. It is fantastic. It's going to be fun. We have we always have special guests, but we have another amazing guest for you guys tonight. On my list of people that I have been dying to get on the show, he is right up there at the very top. Of course, I think I say that about everybody, but that's because I mean it. Everybody has been absolutely fantastic, and tonight is absolutely no exception to that. Tonight's special guest is a master at the art of Valheim building, famed for his intricate architectural designs on his main world. You can see his handy artistic style in his enshrouded world. A master tactician and a tough as nail pirate captain, tonight's guest has talents that range as far and as wide as his community itself. Whether you're a seasoned gamer or a curious newbie, his streams promise entertainment, camaraderie, and a whole lot of flavor. Grab your virtual voice, join the potluck, and prepare for an unforgettable journey with our special guest tonight. That's right, we're talking about the one and only Whoop You for Free. All right, well, we are live. You are in connected. Welcome to Talk Tuesday.
Mute. I'm a trained professional. Hello, everybody.
We're all trained professionals. It is just fine.
I got the real start of the show here.
There we go. Oh, look, we got a Poochie on stage too. Oh, he's a gorgeous Poochie too.
Lots of crunches.
Oh, we're getting those good milk bones. We like a good milk bone.
All done. All right. Go on. Thank you.
It's fantastic. Welcome, Whoop. Welcome. So excited to have you here.
Hello, everybody.
How are you doing?
Good to be here. It's good to be here. Been looking forward to it.
As have we. I mean, I look forward to everybody who gets on here because we get to learn so much about everybody. It's such a fantastic experience. It's so much fun.
I'm still here. I'm running a little boy outside.
No, I know. You're fine.
I can still hear and talk. I'm just not in front of the camera.
Well, apparently you're already giving helpful suggestions and hints about how to keep the animals floating around when streaming as your co-stars.
Yes, absolutely.
We have a G Frankie in there who's already commentating about that. She's enjoying that as a handy dandy little trick.
He's the star of the show. I'm just, I'm the facilitator. That's all.
Yeah, that's it. They're the eye candy. That's what people show up for, is to see the fur and the cuteness, and then we just add the voice so that people understand what's going on. That's all it is.
He doesn't have opposable thumbs. It's kind of hard for him to operate the mouse and keyboard.
There you go. It's fantastic. So, as is typical in our Talk Tuesdays, so the first couple questions are mine to ask, and usually we ask you some very standardized ones. So, if you've ever watched a Talk Tuesday before, you kind of know what the first two questions are coming up going to be. So it shouldn't be too hard. This basically kind of gives us a little opportunity to let people get their questions lined up, so that they know what questions they want to ask you, and learn more about the man, the myth, the legend that is the Whoop You for Free.
It's definitely more myth.
I would say more legend than myth, but you know.
You have to say thank you to the host. All right.
No. I don't have to say that. Nobody twists my arm. I say what I want to say. It's my stream. I usually get in trouble for saying what I want to say too. So, it's fine. It's fine. So normally what we do is we start out with the first couple of questions, and that is usually, we'll start with usually the easiest one, because which is, where does the name Whoop You for Free come from?
Whoop You for Free.
Yeah. How did you settle on that?
First person shooter games was how I really got, my first gaming experience was a real-time strategy game online anyways. But I quickly started playing a game called Black Hawk Down. And I went by my first gaming name was my first initial, which is B, because I was when I was younger, I was a pretty hyper guy. And everybody always wanted me to just calm down, to mellow out. So my gaming name started out as capital B and then MELO, B mellow.
Mellow.
Yeah. So that's how it started. And as I started playing Black Hawk Down, I realized that, and still to this day, I can't shoot to save my life. So I had to find other alternatives to get in the game. Well, they had a medic class, and it didn't matter how many times you died as a medic, you kept coming back, but the more people you saved that could actually shoot,
yeah, the better your team did.
Right. So one guy from North Carolina, every Southern accent, kept saying, "Dude, you are whooping that ass. You're whooping that ass on them meds." And I was like, yeah, but I don't gain anything by it. I'm dying more than I'm doing anything else. And he's like, yeah, but it's free, man. It's free. This is the best thing about the game. You bought it one time and now you can play it forever free. And I was like, yeah, I guess I'm whooping them for free for those meds, And he's like, yeah, that's a pretty cool game name. Whoop You for Free. And there was a guy running around whose name was Whoop Ass. WHOOPS. And I was like, well, if I'm going to do this, if I'm going to change my name, I need to be different from this guy. Otherwise, people are going to think it's probably the same type of guy.
Yeah.
So I was like, all right. So I just went with, WOOP and then U. And you had so many letters you could fit into the name bracket. It can't be so long. So you couldn't spell out, Whoop You for Free. So I went with the letter U and the number 4, and then the word free fit in. And it was literally the perfect, like you couldn't put any more more letters in there. So I was like,
hey, it works, right?
And then we had to have like different battle tags or different, because when you're playing in competition, you don't want a big bar above your name when you're running around, so we had to shorten it down. So my Whoop You for Free became, depending on how small we needed to make them, it became Whoop You, or it became Whoop, or it was just WU for Woo. So that's what that North Carolina guy still to this day calls me. If I get him on Discord, he'll be like, "Hey, woo,
Woo!
yeah, it's funny."
It's a fantastic.
Trophy's a funny guy. Hey, Frail, how you doing, honey? Welcome in.
That is fantastic, right? But you know, names is where everybody gets started at, right? That's sets your identity up.
Yep.
Have you ever felt like, you know, you needed to be extra competitive because of that name, or it just
No. I know that I am at best when it comes to FPS games a support player.
Right.
So like I'm not the guy that's like, if the game's on the line and it's me against somebody else, odds are not very good in our favor. So you know, I've maybe I felt pressure to play my role more,
Right.
but not to be the best player on the field by any means. Like I maybe to be the best, you know, medic or what have you. Absolutely. You know, I like that's one of the things that drives me in gaming is if I'm going to do something, I want to do it right. Actually, pretty much in life, if you're going to do something, do it right. If that means you have to wait, you know, 6 months longer to buy whatever you wanted to buy because it's going to be more expensive than what you can get right now, then you wait 6 months. You know, if you're going to do it right.
Exactly. Hi, Salty. Welcome in.
Hello.
Interesting. Okay. Well, that's actually that's actually not exactly where I had anticipated that name to have come from. It's interesting. I figured you were a lot more competitive. To be honest with you, the first time I read that name, the first time you showed up in one of my streams and were like, yeah, I'm lurking, whatnot, I expected you to be one of these like really gung-ho, highly competitive individuals.
There was a point in time in my life, and that's a big reason why I don't play first-person shooters anymore. I do not like the way they make me act and be as a person. It wouldn't be a stretch to say that I've ruined friendships because of my competitiveness and taking out stupid shit on people that didn't necessarily deserve it, or at least to the point that I went.
Right.
Because in the heat of the battle, I was like, you know, how can you do this? Or how could you, dude, what the were you thinking? And come on. And you just, you know, and, you know, once or twice, not a big thing, you know, happens, right?
Yeah. Happens.
But when
happens
you start doing that, when you start doing that in non-competitive games, you know, when you and your friends are just getting together to have fun, it becomes a problem.
Right.
And so I just stopped. I stopped playing first-person shooters. I'll jump in every once in a while. I'll play a little bit every here and there. And then I'll be reminded why I don't play first-person shooters anymore because A, I'm not good at shooting. and B, first-person shooters used to be fun. And now it's like just really sweaty.
Yes.
They're really sweaty. They're just everybody has to be the best. Everybody who has to be what you thought necessarily my name meant. Yeah, that everybody has to be the best. You gotta do it. If you don't, you suck. You're a noob.
Yeah. I everybody calls those the sweats. I don't really have
40 plus years of gaming. I'm a noob. Sorry. You got me. No, I'm an old man now who's lost his gaming Twitch, and can't flip his wrist as quick and flip as you guys can nowadays. My reaction times are slower.
You know, getting old sucks, my dude.
It does, absolutely, but part of life, man. It's part of life.
The sweaty.
Absolutely part of life. Getting old does suck.
It's. I would say it's a fact of life. It's a part of life. All those platitudes seem to be said 1,000 times or more. I'm honestly, I kind of get a little sick and tired of saying them over and over again. I mean, yeah, it's a fact of life.
Right.
It's just, it sucks. Period.
Hi, Mars.
I'm just not going to try and pretty that up. Getting old sucks. I remember playing games at a much higher level than what I do nowadays. And like
Yes.
back in the day, I did Unreal tournaments, like official Unreal tournaments, and was in a top 10 team back in those days. We're talking about mid to latter 90s at this point.
Yeah, that's when I was playing both Black Hawk Down and Total War, or not Total War, Age of Empires competitively. Both. Yes, I know, but I wasn't playing I played in the Age of Empires official, but I did not play Black Hawk Down official. My clan won the first Age of Empires tournament. Well, a guy from our clan won the first Age of Empires solo tournament.
It counts.
Yeah, I wasn't as good as him. Obviously, he was the one representing us. But yeah, it was really cool. I mean, he got they gave away like a real like a Roman helmet, and like
nice.
it was pretty cool. It was pretty cool.
Sounds fantastic.
I wish, I just wish, when people say that you were born in the wrong era or that they were born in the wrong era. As far as our gaming lives go, I wish we were born like 20 or 30 years later so that we could take advantage of our gaming skills when we were younger to profit off of like they can now.
Right. Yes, yeah.
But I was definitely wrong I was born in the wrong era. The opposite direction for everything else in my life.
Back in those days, let's face facts. Esports was not a thing back in those days.
No. People would laugh at you. People would actually laugh in your face if you said something like, one day there's going to be stadiums filled with people playing video games. And when that happens, I'm going to laugh at you. And they're like, what? Go on. Get out of here. You're making shit up. You'll never make money playing video games.
Oh, my parents were quick to tell me there was no way I was ever going to make money out of I was never going to make a career out of computers or games or anything else.
You need to get your head out of the clouds. That shit just not going to happen. You need to find some real skills.
Joke's on you. My regular 9 to 5 is programming now. I sit on a computer every day.
The first time I found out that somebody signed a contract for over $1 million to play a video game, you don't think I was rubbing that shit in some faces?
Oh yeah.
I'm like, oh,
you are
not gonna make
you are
money
not wrong,
games,
Norson.
Huh?
You're not wrong. Let's see. So, second question is, what got you started into streaming? Like, what was the?
Give me one second here. Give me 1 second. Yep. I can't really hear you too much because chaos came into my stream here and played a.
You're fine.
Hello, Joker.
Joker.
He played the X-Files theme. It was pretty loud. Okay. Next question.
Fine. You're fine. So, what was the thing that kicked off your streaming career? How did you get started streaming?
Dawn. Morning Darkness and a young lady that doesn't stream anymore. She still streams, but she, life kind of got in the way there for a while.
Mm-hmm.
They were big influences on my streaming. I'm disabled, a lot of free time. Was playing a lot of games. was in a lot of different communities, but wasn't doing anything with it. And Frail, thank you so much for the resub. Greatly appreciate it, honey. 7 months. It's great. I appreciate you.
Nice.
Can barely hear. Mars. Give me 1 second here.
Mm-hmm.
Head over there, buddy. You'll hear it a lot better. Obviously, leave my tab open, though. You can hear Nori a lot better over there on his channel. So, I'm watching their streams a lot.
Mm-hmm.
And I kept saying, I gotta wait for this to happen, or I gotta wait for that to happen. And next thing I know, I get a message saying, "Hey, I need your address because we're sending you something." And that was my first light was sent to me. My first ring light was sent to me. And so I'm like, okay, well, now I have this light. Now, again, I'm not going to do it if I can't do it right. So I had a microphone. Well, I had something like this, right? And I used that for a long time. But I didn't have a camera. And I said, if I'm gonna do it, I'm gonna do it right. So I waited, and I finally bought a camera. And it was just I got a camera, and it really wasn't because I had to, it was for streaming. I had to start doing teleconferences because of COVID with my transplant doctors and things.
Right.
So I couldn't go up to Chicago and everything. So I had to start doing telemedicine. So I had to have a camera for that. So I guess it was kind of my health and morning darkness and Sturfers conspiring. Dawn kept pushing me. She whenever I would enter her chat, she'd be like, "When are you going live?" Okay, I don't want to talk to you until you go live.
What you're saying is she bullied you into it.
Well, I say that she bullied me into it. She will not admit that. She was like, I did not bully you into it. I just made it. I knew you'd be good at it. And blah, 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 blah. But she also, my overlay package, that was a gift from Dawn. My scene shifts and stuff. That was all. She bought me that package off Etsy.
That's fantastic.
My second stream. Yeah. And she said she had just got her second or third payout ever from Twitch. And she's like, she had a little extra money and she wanted to,
hook you up.
Yeah. So
fantastic.
That's how streaming started. Yep.
But I mean, that's how.
And I've had a lot of help along the way. Lots.
There's nothing wrong with a little bit of help.
Because still, if something goes wrong, I'm sending out SOSs to everybody. How does this work? I can't fix it. What's going on? Push this button. Move. Oh, thanks.
Yeah. It's fine. It's fine.
That's all. That's it. It's just.
So that's the great start of the streaming career. That is to whoop you for free.
Yeah, and Dawn kept saying, "Whoop," she would. I already had enough followers when I started. I had over 100 followers when I started streaming. Before I even started streaming, I had over 100 followers, and it was because Dawn was showing off my builds on her stream. And people were going to my page and following me, and Dawn kept saying, he's going to start streaming. He's going to start streaming. And so I kind of had to start streaming. So, yeah. I got nothing for you, bud. It's all gone. You can come up here. Come here.
Oh, somebody wants more snackies.
Here. Up.
Well, he is the star of the show. You got to treat your stars right.
Like, hello. Hi.
No, he just wanted attention. Is that what it is?
Yeah, he just wants attention. Yep, he just wanted love from Dad.
There you go. There's nothing wrong with that. Absolutely nothing at all wrong with that.
Taking him to see the ocean for the first time in May. Next month.
Wow.
Yeah. I'm going to go
Now,
to a
is
golden
he
retriever gathering.
is he a water dog? Does he like water?
Loves water. Hi, Thaw.
Big swimmer.
Welcome in. Yeah, he's a golden retriever. He loves his water. He's a typical golden retriever.
You can't say typical because I've known some golden retrievers that absolutely want nothing to do with water. They're like run the opposite direction. It's the funniest thing in the world. Right? What are you doing? You're supposed to like the water, you big fluffy dog. Personality-wise, they've got some of the greatest personalities, but
I've been lucky. All of mine have loved water. But this is the first one that I've actually been in the water with.
Oh.
Yeah. There's nothing up there. It's all gone. I got nothing for you. I got loves for you. I got lovies for you. That's it.
I want more food, Daddy. It's fantastic.
Yeah, that's obvious because you're slobbering. You slobbered on me. Price of
Mr.
love,
Zodicus would like to know, what is your favorite ice cream flavor?
I'm pretty bland. I like vanilla ice cream with a little chocolate syrup on top of
it. Yeah, I'm pretty. Dude, you realize you're saying that to me, and I'm just about as bland as they come. Like vanilla ice cream all the way. I'll eat the occasional Moose Tracks, but if I don't have Moose Tracks around, then yeah, it's vanilla ice cream, and I don't even go out for the chocolate syrup. Just
like if I go to the ice cream shop though, I'm getting a shake, and it's strawberry banana.
Oh, you
strawberry
got fancy.
Banana shake.
We have a Sonic down the road, and I'll get a shake from them, their masterclass shakes, or whatever you want to call those. And it's always just a plain vanilla shake. Like there's nothing fancy in it. Just
so that's just ice.
It's just ice cream.
That's just milk and milk, right? You know this, right, sir?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. Thank you. Just make sure that part of it's frozen, please. That'd be great.
Oh, they think the people down there must think I'm nuts because I'll order the vanilla shake, which is just ice cream and milk, and then tell them not to include the whipped cream that they want to put the topping on for them. Like, don't put the whipped cream. I hate whipped cream. Don't put that on my shake. Thank you, please.
Okay.
It's so much fun though. I don't like whipped cream. It just doesn't taste right. It tastes like, I don't know what it tastes like to me. It just doesn't. It never tastes right, and it doesn't settle on my stomach very well. So I don't eat it.
Pushing Dad off camera. That's okay.
But Daddy, I'm the important one.
His hair is a little kinky today because Dad fell asleep at the computer desk last night when somebody was outside in the rain. He was outside for about 45 minutes. He loved it, but then he had enough. And he came in and he was
drenched. I
soaked.
Head to toe, I can imagine.
And wanted to only lay in one place on my bed.
That's where
Yeah,
you
yeah.
fight. You fight with the dog. Like, no, 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 you're wet. You have to stay down.
He's got a bed made out of the same material that my bed's made out of,
Mm-hmm.
but he wants to sleep on my bed.
What it smells like daddy. It's a security thing. At the end of the day, dogs are just big babies, anyway. So
He is. Oh, okay, you can go now. Thank you. Somebody just burped in my face.
It's just sharing, daddy.
Sharing is caring.
Sharing is something, all right. So you got what got you started in Valheim? Like, how did you settle into that game?
Jeff, my friend Jeff. Him and his friends were playing it. Typical Jeff. Him and his friends are playing this game hardcore nonstop, and I resist. No, I'm not going to play it. No, I'm not going to play it. No. Okay, fine, I'll play it. I started playing it. They stopped. Story of my life. Resist, give in, everybody leaves.
Yep. I've been there, done that. I have that t-shirt.
So scrambled, found a couple of extra other friends that played it, but not obviously not to the extent that I play it, but so I started just going into different communities and having different servers that I could join with pretty much people from all over the world, so that I could pretty much have whenever I wanted to get on, I'd have somebody usually at least on the server to play with.
Right.
And it really wasn't playing with them. It was more like I was in the world and they were in the world also. So we were playing together, but separately.
Yes.
Yeah. Playing together separately.
It's called Together Alone.
which is kind of what we all do since we play over the internet together.
Well, see, for me, I got involved in like team-based games and MMOs when I started my big online gaming career, right? So for me, it was not being in the world with a bunch of people together alone. I was usually in a world with a group of people that we were actively cooperating with each other to achieve some end goal, like constantly
Warcraft.
playing with a group of. Actually, before
Warcraft
that,
2.
It was Ultima Online.
Was the first. Warcraft 2 was the first multiplayer game that I played online. Like against other human beings.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Warcraft 2 was it.
My first one was what was that?
It was my father-in-law to be, which is a whole nother story in and of itself. My father-in-law to be, who saw me playing strategy games on my PlayStation and asked me, "Oh, you like strategy games?" I was like, "Yeah." He's like, "Well, you're just playing against a computer. That's easy. Have you ever played a real-time strategy game?" And I was like, because I didn't have a computer at the time. And I was like, "What's a real-time strategy game?" And he's like, "Oh boy." And so he showed me Warcraft 2 and bought me my first computer.
Nice.
So that I could play Warcraft 2 with him. And as soon as I started playing Warcraft 2 with him,
he left.
He stopped playing it. Life just got too busy, which, we all know that that's happens. A reality. Right. But yeah, so I just got in with a group of people that we're really good guys. We had a group of a really good group of people. Excuse me.
Mm-hmm.
When I say guys, I meant the general
Yeah. No, you're fine.
populace. But I mean, we got together in real life, and like people from all over the country got together, and we LANed our computers together in this big house, and played Warcraft 2 with each other in the same house. It was funny.
The old LAN parties. God, I'll be honest. I actually miss those to a degree.
Huge ass CRT monitors you had to take with you, and
oh God, yes. It was a workout just to relocate your computer.
Are you sure this card table is going to hold my stuff?
It seems a little rickety. Hang on a second. Let me shake it a few seconds. Does everything fall off? No. Okay, we're good. Plug it in.
I wouldn't put a drink on there, though, because it might tip over. That's because the table's sitting like this.
Yeah. It's got a bow in the center. It'll be fine. Don't put anything extra on that. Where am I supposed to put the keyboard? In your lap.
Oh, good stuff.
Those were the days. We can laugh about things like that now. Anymore these days, it's just not like that anymore. I mean, too many people have the internet, and your LAN parties are now online and not in your home. I do feel like we lost out a little bit when we moved away from the big global LAN parties, and you can see that they're trying to come back to the big LAN parties because they're doing a little bit more of those with like some of the big esports competitions and whatnot. You're fine. But it's one of those you're just like, okay.
Hi. We're back. Hello, puppy. Oh, we should probably plug this in, though.
You were just fine. Aha.
Yeah, it's been raining. It's been raining nonstop here.
Oh, you got flooded out with the rain pours too, huh?
And then overnight it changed into snow. So I woke up this morning, and it's more or less sleeting. And there's about half an inch of snow on the ground, but there's standing puddles of water everywhere also because of where it's been raining. So
right. Fantastic. Let's see. So, drug in by some friends into where does all of the inspiration for your builds come from? Like I've seen a lot of the work that you've put together for various different things, and you have a good eye for like structural detail and whatnot to make things work. Now, is that just lots of practice playing Valheim, or
yes,
did you take to it like a fish out of water?
Watching other people build and learning, like I can point to probably of the builds that I have going on right now, I can point to probably 5 or 6 things that are original ideas, and everything else is just a derivative of something else that I've seen from somebody else. That's it. You know, I'll see somebody and I'll see somebody's build and I'll be like, that's really cool, but what if you did this and you did it this way? I like the basic idea of this, but let's flip it around or mix it up a little bit. Or simplify it even. You know,
right.
It's, you know, sometimes things can be overly complicated. Probably the hardest thing I had to learn about building, though, was giving your builds depth. Don't just, you know, it's when people build, they build, when I first started building in Valheim, I built a big brown box. Big brown box.
I still
That's
build
it.
big brown boxes.
That's it. They're efficient. They're efficient. That's what it gets the job done. That's all you need. It doesn't need to be any more than that.
Right.
Then I started to learn to just add texture on the outside, placing some extra boards here and there to give it a little bit of depth, like like siding. You do siding, right? On
Mhm.
the corners of your siding, you'll have an extra piece, right? That just adds
Yeah.
depth to the house. So if you put, on the corner of your build, if you just turn a straight, beam, you just turn it a little bit, you can have it stand there and it'll make a better corner. And that's just, things that I've had to learn as time go on. Or if you build, 3 high, for example, 3, wall sections high,
Right.
where the seams meet, board it up. And not just board it up one time. Once you put a board, or once you put a beam in there, then on top of that beam coming out even more, put a beam there also. So now you've basically created a box that is inset with your wall panel. It just adds depth to the build. It makes it, it draws people's eye instead of just a big brown slate. It draws people's eye here and there and things. And
So you're
that's the
essentially
biggest
trying
thing that I had to
to
learn.
direct their viewpoints in. If I'm
You don't
understanding
want
what
them
you're
looking
saying.
at a big brown box. If you don't want them looking at a big brown box, then you've got to make them look at other things. Whether it be lighting. Because I've like my bridge, right?
Mm-hmm.
I built that bridge before. I've built that bridge on 2 or 3 different servers, but I've never lit it up. And when I lit it up, it completely changed it. It completely changed that bridge by just putting lighting on it. People that have seen the bridge before are like, that's a pretty cool bridge. When they see it with all lit up like it is now, they're like, dude, that's amazing. But it's the same bridge. It's just done a little bit differently. So there's no, like, very few people in the Valheim build community have
Mm-hmm.
come up with something original. Everybody else has derived their builds off of something else that they've seen in one way or another. In my opinion, very few people have made me go, okay, I'm likely. No, thanks. I think I'll avoid that one. Very few people have made me go, holy shit. That's like Antler Carver, dude. That dude is just like, I can build,
Mm-hmm.
but that dude blows my mind with his builds. And like Tibbets also, like I add detail to my builds, but they build detailed things in ways that my mind doesn't work. So when I see their builds, I'm just like, I see how you did that, but if I tried to replicate how you did that, it wouldn't look like that. Why? I've tried to replicate one of Tibbet's builds. I've tried. And I get about a quarter done and I go, this is shit. This is not it. this is just and I can't tell you, like, okay, for every build that people see of mine,
Mm-hmm.
there's probably 10 iterations of that thing that's been destroyed before until I've come up with the final project. What people have been seeing me build on my streams in the community that I have going on right now, as far as my bridge and my mead hall and stuff like that, and the garden, all of those things have been built before, on other people's servers. So when people are seeing me build it now, it's not new. I may be adding new things to it, like the bridge. I added the lighting to it, but that bridge was going to be built anyways. Those, what I call eggs or spires in my garden that people like, those have been built plenty of times before also, but never lit up like they are. So they're just changed a little bit. But by doing my VODs and doing the building on stream, people who were fans of that particular build or, want to know how you did this,
right?
Then now it's a VOD, and now they can go back and be like, oh, and it's me building it real time, and usually taking it slow enough for people to follow it step by step. Yep. I don't do YouTube videos. I don't know how to edit. I honestly I don't want to learn.
Right.
Because it takes up a lot of time that I could spend doing other productive things. If somebody wanted me to have a YouTube video, they would have to start editing my videos for me, and we'd have to work out some kind of payment plan. Because I'm not gonna do. I've seen people go and try and do YouTube video, and it's a lot of fucking work.
It is a lot of work. It is an awful lot of work. You spend they say for every hour of recording you do, it's like 8 hours worth of editing.
Yeah, no
something
thanks.
like that. I just
no. No.
Like, I don't have the time for that. I got a
lot of free time. I got a lot of free time, but that 8 hours I could be spending with dogs or playing a video game or learning something, not just editing the same video for 8 hours. No. Somebody is being a puppy. Big time.
Daddy's not doing the normal thing that he usually does. So this is something new.
Yeah.
It's exciting.
Yeah, normally. Totally being a puppy right now.
If that wasn't I totally just agreed with whatever was said. Moment.
Yep. But he's cute. Yes. Now that his teeth are not as sharp as razor blades, it's not bad.
Those puppy teeth are such. Those are
razor
should always
blades,
be
man.
Categorized as lethal weapons. Like, I think if you own a puppy, you should be required to register it as having lethal weapons, at least for the first few years. You can take it off afterwards, but holy cow.
I know. Okay. Give me the hands, old man.
Now what's this dog pupper's name?
This is Kaiser.
Kaiser.
Yep. All of my Goldens, this is my 4th Golden overall.
Mm-hmm.
All of my Goldens have had leadership, regal sounding names.
I was going to say that sounds like you could easily call him King Kaiser.
My first one was Baron, like the Red Baron.
Mm-hmm.
My next one was Maximus or Max. Maximus, Sundancer, O'Deary. And then we had Duke. And now we got Kaiser.
He's a pretty dog.
He's a pretty dog. He comes from very good lines. His daddy's really famous. Daddy almost won the Westminster Dog Show.
Wow.
No golden retriever has ever won it. And his dad, 3 years ago now, 4 years ago, Almost
Got
won.
close.
Almost
So
won.
what?
He won. He won the best. He won the sporting class, which a golden retriever had never done before either. And then he lost out in the show finals to a poodle, a standard poodle.
That's highway robbery.
If you YouTube Daniel, Today Show, he was on the Today Show the day after Westminster, and he was touted as the fan favorite, and that he definitely got robbed.
It sounds that way.
I would agree. But poodle fans would be like, he didn't get robbed. And golden retriever fans are like, he got robbed. All I can say is Daniel's a very good looking dog, and his mom, Kaiser's mom, is a very beautiful golden retriever also. I've been extremely lucky in this whole process of Kaiser.
Nice. Well, it's all very pretty dogs, very pretty dog stock. Now I've had conversations with you offline.
It's embarrassing, Johnny. Agree. And here's his baby collar. When I brought him home, he was wearing this.
Aw.
And it sits on my microphone now. All right. Conversations offline? Or off stream?
I've now lost my train of thought. I hate getting old, right? That is like a regular occurrence. Like, okay, I've got it. I've got a thing. It's going. And then somebody's like, hey, by the way, and you're like, huh? What? Oh, it's gone. It's like trying to hold on to a puff of smoke with a net. It just doesn't happen.
I'll be playing a video game and I can't remember what I had for dinner, but I can remember lyrics to a complete song from 1986.
Yeah.
Like,
yep. I can pull that right out my rear end. Be like, hey, you remember the words? I don't know. Safety dance. Yes, I can do that. Sledgehammer, piece of cake.
If you watch my streams, I'll just randomly start singing weird fucking songs because they just pop into my head. I don't know why, and I know all the words, or most of the time. But
yep, same.
Can't remember where I put my keys. Have to leave them in the exact same place every time, or I'll fucking lose them.
Every time. Yep. Before I go to when I close up.
Freak out if you're not there. If you left them 10 feet away.
Yeah.
Still plainly visible. Look at the keys. Where are the keys? Oh, they're right there. Good.
Yeah. When I close up shop in the evening, I take my glasses off because I go from here to bed and my glasses are on my keyboard. And if they're not on my keyboard when I get up the next morning, I literally walk around the house blind trying to find them.
Panicking.
Where are my glasses?
Where the fuck are my glasses? I'm not gonna be able to do anything. Where are my glasses? I'll be sitting here looking at the computer like this.
Well, so actually, that's where I'm fortunate, I guess is the word I would use for that. Maybe. I don't need my glasses to see my computer. Like I need my glasses if I want to drive somewhere. I can't see far away.
This is where I sit when I game, right? And my monitors, if I take these off, I know what the words are because I've trained my eyes. That's, and I know Nikki and Billy are streaming, Nori, Deadeye Viking, Mr. Antorbot, Jonathan, Crazy Two Plays, because I've looked at it. But if I flip over screens to like a YouTube page, I see images and words. Some words I can make out, Some I can't.
Yeah,
And then the
I can.
bifocals go on. Yes, kid. Bifocals.
I haven't reached the stage of needing bifocals yet. Delport,
Well,
I can't see 4 feet I can see up to 4 feet in front of me. After that, everything's a blur. I can see well enough to navigate around the house because I can see a wall. Like it's a big blur object in front of my face.
Hi, Mandy. Welcome in, Mandy.
I can see well enough to navigate around my house, and anything that I need to do, I can see well enough because it's got to be within arm reach of me. But beyond that, forget about it. Don't ask me to drive down the road. I'll kill a poor soul because I can't see. I'm blind. But yeah, other than that, it's just fine. I can see perfectly fine.
I can see clearly now. The rain is gone.
Wall, armchair. Right, exactly, Delport. Exactly.
I can see all obstacles. You know, that's going to be stuck in my fucking head. In 6 hours, I'm getting ready to end stream. I'm going to be like, I can see clearly now the rain. Oh. Yes, after the interview, after a brief interlude, which is me getting something to eat, I will be going live for me. And I'm probably just going to eat some Lunchables on stream. So
that'll be fine.
If you hear crunch, it's either from me or Kaiser, one of the two. If it's really loud, it's from me because I usually chew it off close.
You're welcome, Johnny. You're welcome. We do what we can around here. You know, honestly, this is about par for the course because on every Talk Tuesday, I think food is like a regular conversation topic, and then everybody gets hungry.
Oh shit!
I don't know.
Oh no! Oh no!
What?
I'm going to take a picture of my son who went outside a few seconds ago. I'm going to upload that so you can see what this little shit just did. Kaiser, come. Like the backyard is a mud pit. Sit. Sit.
I gotta love dogs. Gotta love a dog. I mean, I suppose you don't have to, but I mean, who wouldn't? They're fantastic.
Okay, I'm going to bring him in, and we're going to continue the interview, but it's going to be me over here. Oh my god, he is just a mud. Oh my god.
One of my favorite aspects is the popularity of charcuterie in mainstream culture. It's just grown up Lunchable. You're not wrong, Delport. You are absolutely not wrong about that.
Oh no, I'm gonna. Well, there's going to be a wardrobe change also. Whoop cannot have a orange sweatshirt on anymore. Although if I let him continue to go forth, I could just probably use it as a camo pattern, an orange camo pattern.
You could, you know.
God. I looked out the back window to start calling him in. He was just doing zoomies, figure eights in the backyard, which is pretty muddy.
Yeah.
He was just tearing ass around the yard. I'm like, oh God.
You know, I had a dog one time that would go run and do get the zoomies and run figure eights like that. And that particular dog liked to also roll in the mud. And so if there was mud outside, there would be no zoomies. There would just be, yep, rolling right through the mud.
Yeah, Duke was a roller. Kaiser's a runner. Oh boy. Okay, one paw down.
The amount of mud and dirt. I
You
have
little
cleaned. Oh, don't give me, Johnny. Let me tell you about my cats. We had 3 cats. We're down to 2 cats. Mama cat passed away. I have got probably the dumbest cats or the smartest cats in the world. I've not made the determination on it. Like, you want to keep a cat off from a counter or something like that. Usually the traditional route is you put a little bit of tinfoil down there. They hit tinfoil. If they don't like it, they jump off and leave it alone. And after a while, they just stop getting up on that surface. Not my cats. No. My cats have decided that tinfoil is a food group. So you put tinfoil down, they just jump on it. They walk around, and then they start to try and eat it. And I'm like, you're an idiot. Stop that, cat. Why are you trying to eat freaking tinfoil? Have you lost your ever-loving mind?
Oh my God, Kaiser.
And either they're the smartest cats in the world because they have figured out that if we just eat it or try to eat it, then they take it away and we don't have to worry about it. And so they've got me trained to remove the stuff that annoys them. They really are the dumbest cats in the world. And I have to continue to remove the things that I'm putting up there to convince them not to go somewhere. And it doesn't work.
Oh my God.
I haven't figured out which one it is.
You are just soaked.
Well, yes, Daddy. It's raining outside.
Oh.
I'm just, Johnny, it's just one of those things. You're like, really, who's the smarter one in this group? And I don't know when it comes down to me and them cats. Oh, yeah, you got gotten, didn't you? We can see the mud evidence. You didn't want to wear that shirt, now did you? It's fine. It's fine. Say, he just decided that he didn't like your wardrobe for this evening, so he was making certain that you had to change.
When I upload these photos, this little shit. The pictures. There we go. Oops. That's not it. Yeah. There's that. There's mud here and on the face. And look at the stink eye I'm getting. And then the tongue sticking out also. Like, yeah, I did it. What are you going to do about it?
Yeah, what are you going to do, huh? Huh?
These are being sent to your grandma. I hope you know that. I'm sending these to your grandma right now.
That's right. Johnny, I get a good solid chuckle out of Sandy every time Sandy starts complaining about her 2 boys, and I'm like, yep, just wait, they have begun your training sessions. But I think that's the sort of thing when it comes down to pet ownership, right? I think half
Whoa.
of pet ownership is getting trained. The other half of the pet ownership is doing a modicum amount of training. And if you really want to train an animal, you have to get at them pretty early. Like, you can't wait.
What did I do wrong?
And so that was one of the things we tried training the cats not to get up on things when they were still kittens. These foolhardy cats just, yeah, they don't care. It's absolutely fantastic. Absolutely fantastic. They just don't care, not one bit.
Yep. They just got sent to your grandma. Mm-hmm.
Uh-oh.
You know what she's going to do? That's right. Laugh.
So beyond playing games, have you what other sort of hobbies do you have? Whoop.
Dogs.
Like dogs. So never anything like D&D or
I play
any
D&D.
of-
But again, not 90%, 95% of my friends don't live here. And the friends that do live here aren't the type of friends that do anything that I really am interested in. Like I don't drink. I don't hang out with people that
Oh, I don't drink either.
like to party a lot. I'm over that type of stuff. I can't really be around a bunch of people anyways because of my health issues.
Mm-hmm.
So it's really video games and dogs because I can't get sick from a dog and can't get sick playing video games. So,
Well, yeah. At least there is that. I mean, not getting sick is a fairly important deal. And I understand the plight because that's basically shale right there in a nutshell. I mean, we constantly spend a lot of time making certain that she's not being exposed to something.
Yeah. Especially like it was a big deal before COVID hit. After COVID hit, it was an even bigger deal. And I mean, with all the respiratory illnesses that are going around out there, whether it be COVID, whether it be RSV,
right?
Whether it be just the flu, if I get any of those things, it could be a death sentence. So I just have to limit my exposure. I can't go and do the things that I used to like to do. I can, like every September, me and my real life friends used to get together for a week up in Minnesota and hang out. Just as guys, at a cabin on the lake.
Right.
And with those guys coming from different countries, flying in to Minnesota, and then people from all over the country coming in to do it also. I've gotten sick before from just exposure to them. And it's like we used
Painful.
we used to go to football games. Like we used to go to, NFL football games together and stuff. And you just can't do that stuff anymore. It sucks. It sucks.
Yeah.
I mean, when your whole lifestyle has to change, before COVID, before I started getting sick all the time, it was, I'm a hugger. I'm a typical Midwest person that, I'm a hugger. You hug hello, you hug goodbye, you know,
Right.
and especially if you haven't seen somebody in a long time, you know, and you can't, you know, if somebody's not, you know, somebody's having a rough time, you just wrap your arms around them and give them a hug, and you can't, I can't do that stuff anymore. I haven't, besides my mother giving me a hug, I haven't had physical contact. It was except with a handshake in years. Definitely since COVID hit.
Right. Well, and COVID has its own like laundry list. We're not even talking about like a few things. It's a freaking laundry list of things that you have to be constantly aware of.
Yeah. I mean, it just, I don't know. The downside is that I don't get to be around people. The upside is you get to see me on the internet. I mean, I've always been like the class clown type person and stuff. I've always been funnier in my own head than I am in reality, though. So, you know.
Oh, okay, let's be fair. I think a lot of us think we're funnier in our own heads versus than what we are in reality.
I'm a legend in my own mind, you know.
That's all right. As far as we're concerned, you're a legend here. That's all that matters. So there you
go. Mars, he has a Frenchie. His Frenchie this morning decided to chase a rabbit through the yard. That was a full mud pit.
Oh
yeah,
no!
That dog fully came back full of mud. Kaiser's legs and underside were full of mud. That dog came back with mud in its ears. You know, a couple of nostrils packed with mud.
Jeez, yeah. Holy cow!
Right.
Definitely brought in more dirt than what needs to be in the house. So any big, so we're looking at it on 2024, right? As we're moving forward, and it's April now, so not quite halfway, but we're coming up on the halfway mark. Any like real big plans for the rest of this year? Anything on the horizon for you?
In May, I'm going to a golden retriever gathering in Delaware, where I will show Kaiser the ocean for the first time. I will spread some of Duke's ashes. There'll be over 400 golden retrievers there for the weekend at the beach, swimming in the ocean and going on parades through the town. The whole town shuts down for them. So that'll be fun. That's about it.
Well, I was talking more like
in July,
stream wise.
No stream plan. I'm trying to get into the beta for the Dune game. That looks pretty interesting. I'm really looking forward to that. But that
right.
Unfortunately, I won't be able to do the next PAX Day alpha. Hey, I won't be able to do the next PAX Day alpha because I'll be house sitting the entire week while that's going on. But that game looks like they sound like they're trying to do the same thing. They're both trying to do the same thing where they're trying to have an MMO/survival crafting game at the same time. And it'll be interesting to see how both of them pull it off.
I don't think that's a viable mechanic. I think you either go MMO or you do a survival game. I don't think you try to pull both of them off. There's too much complications in there. There's too much things going on and far too easy for things to go wrong.
It'll be interesting. It'll be interesting. They, the crafting, the building, the things that they've showed off so far of PAX Day, I've really enjoyed. The game's beautiful. It was relatively easy to build in. It was pretty much like Valheim building. This new test will start bringing in the PvP action. But apparently it's only, say, a huge map, right? And only 15% of it or less in the middle of the map is going to be PvP area. So that'll be interesting.
Nice.
But there'll only be things in the PvP area, resources and things like that, that you can get in the PvP area. That's the only place to get them. So whether you choose to go in there and risk it, or if you have other people in your group that are the designated PvP zone specialists to go in and gather these resources and stuff. So it'll be interesting to see how groups of people, and it definitely won't be easy for a solo person to run in and run out. It'll be difficult. I like the idea of what Dune is trying to do, where essentially it's the same thing. You're going to have a set zone that's going to be PvP only, but it changes. The zone itself changes because of shifting sands and things like that. So it'll be interesting. It'll be interesting to see how they handle that also.
I think there's a number of games on the horizons coming out that should be interesting, but I have concerns for the complexity of the mechanics they're trying to wrap into a single game structure.
Light No Fire is very aspirational. The game idea is fantastic. It's beautiful. It's everything that open world people want in a real open world game. But their track record is not the best. If you want to play Light No Fire, your best bet would be to play Light No Fire a year after it releases.
Probably. Johnny would like to know, what kind of movies / TV shows do you enjoy watching?
Sci-fi, historical, and comedy. I'm not too much of a drama person. Movies, I tend to lean towards action and comedy. TV shows, usually more historical, but I will obviously see a historical movie also. And sci-fi, pretty much in any form. But when I say sci-fi, I really mean space stuff and Dungeons and Dragons stuff.
So you're right. So I wouldn't say a Trekkie, unless you're really big on Star Wars or Star Trek. Excuse me. Be careful how I say that. People come after me for screwing that one up. How very dare, sir!
I'm more a Wars than a Trek. Although I don't dislike Trek. I prefer, caveat, pre-Disney purchase Star Wars fan. Pre-Disney purchase Star Wars fan. And the only thing, in my opinion, that Star Wars has been put out since, now this is going to be some controversy, I'm sure, since Disney's purchase, is Andor and blank.
Andor. Rogue One?
And Rogue One. And Rogue One. Yep. Andor and Rogue One. That's it.
You got it nailed there, Norson.
Everything else has just been Everything else has just been meh.
I've not watched Andor. I don't think I've watched Rogue One. I be honest, I watched the
Mandalorian season 1, yes.
I couldn't even bring myself to watch that one.
Mandalorian season 1. Some of season 2. Heck, how you doing, bud?
I got a little. I got really irritated with the whole Star Wars scene when they decided to do all that reboot and changing of things. Like we're just going to we're going to add in these bits that were cut out. I'm like, well, they were cut out for a reason. Leave them cut out. But we're going to add them back in here because they completely changed the feel of the movie.
George going back and fixing his mistakes.
I'm
change
okay
the
with
movies.
Yes.
Change the movies.
Leave them the way they were. That's I grew up on them just the way they were. They were perfectly fine. They were blockbuster hits. They were smashes. Why would you go back and change it? Why would you go back and mess with it?
I mean, I guess that's his artistic license. I get it. It's his vision for what he would have done had he had that technology at the time. I get that.
Yeah.
Don't scrub the internet, the stores, and everything of your other product. Because if anybody knows anything about Star Wars, it's a very divisive community.
Oh, hugely divisive. I mean, they were divisive all the way down to, who shot first.
Yes. You're going to have your camps that like this one and like that one. And they're going to be very vocal about it.
Oh,
and you're either or. You have to be either or. You can't be, well, I can see the merits, but then just shut up. Which do you prefer? I prefer the ones that I saw, the ones that I got to see. Yes, kids, hold on to your hats. In the theaters, as my Star Wars. I did not like, and for the most part, we're getting back into this again. It's a loop. I understand movie makers wanting to push the boundaries of technology.
Oh, yeah. Push boundaries. If you want to push boundaries, push boundaries. Like, I am all for pushing boundaries. Stay out of the story, stay out of the plot. Don't change what's already been done. Go make something new and push boundaries.
The CGI in the remasters does not look believable. It looks fake. Like on when they're searching for R2D2 and C3PO when they've just landed, and they're on, instead of just walking around, now they're on beasts, and those animals look, it just ruins the immersion. And that technology wasn't ready yet for him to do it the way he wanted to do it, but he did it anyways. And now the movie makers are pushing the boundaries again, where it makes me not want to see the movie, like Ant-Man, the Ant-Man movie, the Quantumania movie.
I haven't seen it.
It's 95% CGI, it's obviously filmed on the Oculus, which is basically a stage that has
It's a giant green screen
around it. Yeah, it's obviously filmed on the Oculus. It's not believable. It's not. I can't believe that they're in this place because the technology is not there yet. At least to me, and my, from me looking at the film, I just can't see it. And it if they would have, I don't know how they could have done it practically. Don't get me wrong.
Okay.
I can't offer them any type of, alternative, but it's just, right. For me, movie makers are at that point again where they started pushing the boundaries and it was okay. And then they've got to that point now where they've just gone too far. And I think Marvel understands that also because, well, their movies are tanking.
I think it really depends on the movie.
In comparison.
Like, yeah, well.
I mean, they're still doing better than DC, but.
Well, I to be fair, I expect my Marvel movies to be a little out there. By comparison, Marvel has always been really kind of over the top.
They're superheroes. I mean, you have to extend, I mean,
yes.
Extend, you have to get rid of you have to understand that there's going to be some things that are freaking, like it's a man flying in a suit. You
have to suspend your belief.
Who doesn't get hit by
or suspend your disbelief.
Hurt by Thor's hammer,
Mm-hmm. Yeah. You have to be willing to.
You just suspend your belief. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. That's it. That's
suspend your disbelief when you watch those movies, and that becomes a thing, right? You kind of have to do that, and that's fine. And I can get behind that as long as the story's good. Like, I could watch I haven't seen it. I probably could sit down and watch the Ant-Man Quantum whatever.
Quantumania.
Yeah. Mostly because I watched the first Ant-Man, and yeah, you could see where they heavily CGI'd stuff and everything else, and the actors did exactly as best as they could. And I'm willing to suspend my disbelief because the plot was good. It was a good movie. It sort of stayed in line with what I grew up with as a kid, reading the Ant-Man comic books and whatnot. I could pick the movie apart, but I choose not to at this point because it was fine. It was close enough. I was not a huge Ant-Man fan, so I'm okay with it, right? But I got really, really hurt over Spider-Man, and now we'll jump down this. There are people that I have talked to that grew up with Tobey Maguire as the Spider-Man. And so to them, that is the Spider-Man. That period. Don't talk to them about anybody else playing Spider-Man. That's their favorite Spider-Man. That's what they grew up with. That's what they know. That's what they love. And to them, I say that's fine. That Spider-Man's wrong. The plot for the movie was wrong. The deviation, fine. Stan Lee got in there and gave it thumbs up and said it's fine and greenlit the whole changing of the entirety that was the Spider-Man persona. But for me, I was huge Spider-Man fan growing up. And so I read all the comic books. I watched all the really crappy B movies and the television shows that came out that all adhered to what was essentially the Spider-Man from the comic books.
Yeah,
and then Tobey Maguire's Spider-Man came out. Right?
Nicholas
I know exactly who you're talking
don't know was the actor who played Spider-Man on the TV show in the 70s.
Yep.
The 1970s.
I know who you're talking about.
Yeah, I remember that TV show. I remember him climbing up the buildings with
God, that was so terrible. And the rope. It wasn't even the web. It was a freaking rope. It was very obvious that all they were doing is pulling a rope out of his hand attached to a string and running it up another smaller like fishing line. You just watch. I used to laugh so hard. Yes.
Good
Yep.
stuff.
Yep. Exactly. But again, which writer is the one who made the real Spider-Man? Del Porta, are we talking about who actually made Spider-Man? Because Spider-Man's first appearance was in Amazing Fantasies number 15, which was a Stan Lee produced comic book. I don't remember the author. Like Stan Lee was one accredited with the creation of Spider-Man, and that's where he appeared at. I don't remember who originally came up with the original plot for the Spider-Man. So I don't know if that's what you're looking for when you're asking that, or if you're asking about like movies and whatnot that we're watching nowadays. Who's the real Spider-Man? I think the Amazing Spider-Man they did, where they killed off the Gwen Stacy character. I think that was as close to the comic books as you could get. Yes.
Andrew Garfield.
Trying to remember.
Spider-Man.
Yes.
How they made it all dark and with the Green Goblin.
They definitely made that a very darker version of Spider-Man. No, they don't. Like you always have different, but still, that's the thing, right? Spider-Man, of the various different ones, until they did this latest edition where they released the Spider-Verse, right?
Yeah.
There had only ever been one Spider-Man. You had the Amazing Spider-Man and whatnot. Now, personal favorite was always the Watcher series, especially when they camoed Spider-Man trying to cure himself of his spider powers and giving himself actual, 4 extra arms, becoming more of an actual spider. But I'm getting a little sidetracked there. In fact, I got so sidetracked I lost my train of thought. Yeah, go ahead.
If you have not seen Andor, it is the story of the rebellion and how they got the plans for the Death Star. And it is, if they would have made it into a movie, it would have been 2 movies because of how long it is. It is worth your time. It is mostly practical sets. It is the best thing, in my opinion, the best thing that Star Wars has done since Return of the Jedi.
Well, alrighty then. I will have to go
it's
and
well worth your time.
Check it out. I haven't spent too much time trying to keep up with the latest rendition of Star Wars stuff because I've been a little put off by it.
If you saw so you saw Rogue One, right?
No.
Okay. So you would have to watch Rogue One first because it will give you, well, I guess, yeah, because it kind of gives you, help me out here, guys. Should you watch Rogue One first or Andor? I don't know. It's a toss up. Should he watch Rogue One first or Andor first, and then Rogue One?
I will have to go and find them.
Yeah, that's what I thought. Yeah, Rogue One. You want to watch Rogue One first, and then watch Andor.
Hey, Super. Yeah, he's got his camera turned off temporarily.
Yeah, I
don't worry.
Sorry.
He'll be back.
No, I'll be back on a second.
Super hasn't watched Andor, but you enjoyed Rogue One. Nice. Yeah, I'm trying to think. Legitimately, the last Star Wars anything that I saw was when they introduced when they killed Han Solo for the final time.
No.
And they did that whole cliche father gets stabbed by son, and like I saw it coming miles away. I'm like, you knew it was going to happen. You're like, okay, they're going to kill him, and this is how they're going to kill him. And because it was so cliche, it was so obvious. It was one of those. I'm like, yep, spotted it a mile away, and then they confirmed it and they did it, and I was just like, could have put a twist in there. Could have done something to kept me.
The writing.
And I was so irritated.
People, the writing from the people that have been in the Disney camp since taking over Star Wars has been lacking as far as storytelling goes. A lot of their stories are very disjointed.
It is.
It makes absolutely no sense. Throwing things out there just like throwing spaghetti against a wall to see if it sticks. Horses in space. Leia now suddenly can live in space and then fly. There's just a lot of things that don't make sense. It was that's once I saw a couple of outputs of that of Star Wars, it just really, and it appeals to some people, and that's fine. That's absolutely great. I'm happy that you can find your Star Wars.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely happy that you can find your Star Wars. Everybody has, everybody should be able to find their own Star Wars. I'm all about inclusiveness, everything. It's great. I don't have a problem with it.
Go for it.
Make a good story.
Make a good
story. That's all.
To be honest, to be honest,
space.
I think you and I are a little spoiled. I'm gonna put this out there, right? We are a little spoiled. We grew up in the generations where all of this was original ideas. And honestly, I think it's a really unfortunate thing is there are still really good original ideas that are coming out. You hear me? I'm not trying to like dog anybody or anything like that, but there have been far more remakes, reboots, and of stuff that we saw in the theaters when it originally came out that are just being redone over again. And you're just like,
it's not because they don't have other movies that they can make. It's because if they don't remake a movie something like every 25 years, they lose
rights to the license.
It enters into the public domain. And that's what happened with Steamboat Willie. Steamboat Willie is now in the public domain.
So let it get in the public domain. It's not hurting anything being in the public domain.
Then they can't monetize it as much.
Well.
Mm-hmm. No, that's
you're not. That's going to be my answer to that. I mean, look, you've had it for 25 years. That's great. You've made your dime off in it. And it's not like anybody else. It's not like I can go and I'm not going to stick Steamboat Willie up on a YouTube site and suddenly be like, hey, look what I created. I made Steamboat Willie. That's never going to be a thing. That's not going to happen. In fact, if you try to do something like that, people are probably just going to laugh you off the stage. Like, it's a nutter.
Sorry.
It's just greedy people being greedy, and it's being stupid, and yeah, it is. It's fine. It's fine. The weirdest thing with the sequels is the side character is more of a main character than. Yeah, you're not wrong, Super.
What was that?
Super says the weirdest thing about sequels is the side character being more of a main character than the main character, or in this case, Rey. The follow-ons to the Star Wars as they kept going on is, some of the other characters were more front stage and got more work and were better rounded characters than who is supposed to be the main character, which is Rey.
I think that was very poor writing on the last movie that they put out.
But yeah, I literally watched that one, and I couldn't tell you which Star Wars version it was, whatever it was. The ending sequence of it shows her showing up and handing Luke his lightsaber back. I mean, that movie went off, and I walked out of the theaters, and I'm like, I'm not watching another. Nope, I've got no desire to watch any more Star Wars after that.
It was. You kept holding out hope that the next one would be better. And they really did. They really did have a hit with Andor, and I'm excited. I'm excited that they're doing a season 2 for it. But
that's fantastic news.
It's really good.
Well, and maybe I will put that on my list of things to go watch then this year. We'll see.
Rogue One, then Andor. Rogue One into Andor. Wait a minute.
There you go. That's a bit of extra.
Wait a minute. Heck is saying Andor into Rogue One. Really?
See, divisiveness. It's fine. It's fine.
Yeah, you're right.
You'll have to fill us in.
No, it's Andor into Rogue One. Yeah, you watch the Andor the series, and then Rogue One the movie.
Isn't that out of order with the way they were released? Didn't they release Rogue One before Andor?
Yes.
Okay.
So technically, it's a prequel.
Look, everything with Star Wars has been done so out of order anymore these days. It's not even funny.
Okay. Sorry. About my job tomorrow.
No, you're fine. You're fine. It is just fine. You got to take care of business. That's all that matters. Someone cut the last scenes of Rogue One and Episode 4 together on YouTube. It's just perfect. Obviously, video quality is not the same. Interesting, Norson. Yeah, like I said, I really just have not been in the mood to do any more Star Wars after Rey and
send this message.
The return of Mark Hamill, which, by the way, Mark Hamill got screwed so hard. There has never been an actor I felt more sorry for than Mark Hamill. You want to talk about a guy who got typecast into a role that he could never get out of. Holy cow. I've seen him in some really, really B-rated, horrible movies. Holy cow. I don't know that he ever shook off being Luke Skywalker.
No, he didn't. Except in his voice acting.
Yeah, well, that's the sort of thing, right? He ended up having to become a voice actor in order to be able to get out from underneath that role. But I have seen him in a couple of movies. Did you know he played in the first live action of the anime turned real film called Geyser? Such a terrible role too. And you don't realize how really horrible acting can go completely wrong until you watch like a really badly directed movie, and then you're like, okay, yeah, definitely directing is a skill that some directors have and other directors shouldn't ever try to do.
For sure.
He's a great voice actor, absolutely great voice actor, and I don't think he ever got out from underneath being Luke Skywalker. Harrison Ford got lucky because he played, let's be honest, Harrison Ford played a space pirate.
Yep.
And who doesn't love a pirate? And so all of his...
You have heard of me.
Yep. And that's it's fine. It's fine. We're getting way off topics.
Yeah.
So, I mean, those are the things that happen around here, though. I mean,
that's my brain. That's my brain. 42 different directions, trying to all weave back into the same spot.
Yep.
Generally at the same time.
Just heads up, we're all coming back down. So you have the dog show coming up, but no real plans for like anything big over for your stream. Like no big.
No. I've never been a big planner on my stream. It's just kind of organic. If I one day get to 1,000, I'm sure I'll do something fun or cool. I don't know. I've never. I mean, I didn't get into this for the followers or the streamers, or the the numbers. I mean, just got into do it to hang out with people while I play video games.
Right.
If there's more there, cool. But I don't need numbers to validate me. I don't, I know this is never going to pay the bills. I can't make too much doing this. So, I mean, it is what it is. I appreciate everybody being there. I appreciate everybody coming in, hanging out. But it's not something that drives me. Is it cool to see a new number? Sure.
Oh yeah.
Absolutely. Does it, and because I had got to like 600 followers without a camera, I don't, it's not one of those things that, I know that the people that are there currently are there because of the dork in me, and not just because I'm some pretty face. I just like I say all the time, just be good to yourself, to other people, and do good. I mean, that's all that matters to me. I mean, if you want to come in and hang out and be cool. Just be nice. that's what drives me, is hanging out with, nice, cool, relaxed, chill people.
Right. That's some of the best times that you can have, is just being able to sit around and chit chat and just chillax.
Yeah, I mean, it's,
which that's an old word there
I'm
for
a
you
pretty
youngers.
awkward. I'm a pretty awkward dude. So, and I don't, I do know when it happened, but that's a story for my therapist. Not that I have one, but let's just say up to a point in time in my life, I was a very, some may say overly confident person. After a certain event in my life, I was no longer confident. Exactly the opposite. And love will do that to you.
Love is a vicious, vicious thing.
Back to the whole, circling back to the whole father-in-law thing. I was married very shortly, for a very short period of time. And the young lady in question was unfaithful, and completely broke my confidence and trust in not just women, but people for a long time. And has really affected my love life relationships ever since. And it's in my head, and there's nothing I can do about it. And since then, I've been way more introspective than a very outgoing, vibrant person. I may seem so on stream that I'm, happy-go-lucky all the time, but that's not always the case. That's not always the case.
And that's fair.
So it goes to a lot of credence to me saying that people go through a lot of shit in life, and it's not easy to get through. And if you need somebody to reach out to, then you reach out to somebody. And if you don't have somebody to reach out to, then you reach out to me, and I'll be your somebody. I don't have any answers, but I can listen. And if you need more help than that, then I can help you find it. Because there's been people that have helped me in my life that have talked down from ledges, and you need to have those people in your life. Luckily, I do. Sure. I have those people in my life.
You were not wrong about that. Well, I mean, everybody needs to be talked down off the ledge periodically sometimes. And it's good to have.
Sometimes it's just because your anxiety over a freaking video game. Am I wrong, Tiger? Am I wrong, Tiger? Yeah. And that's about the thing that really gets me the most, my anxiety going the most nowadays is video games. And that's a lot by planned.
You
make a lot of mistakes when you're younger, but that's what life's about, is making mistakes.
Okay. I think everybody needs to make mistakes. So, I mean,
absolutely.
That's the human condition. If you don't make a mistake, then are you really A, living, and B, are you really growing as an individual? I think making mistakes.
There's some things that I'm surprised that I fucking survived as I was growing up. But we lived in a way different time than they do nowadays. I did some very stupid shit when I was growing up, and literally I'm surprised that some of it did not kill me. It was
you
fun,
know,
and I would never do it again. It was fun at the time, but I would never do it again.
oh, come on. Growing up, we used to drink water straight out of the hose. We didn't. Is it cold enough to drink? Yeah. Okay. Fine. Whatever. Like,
Yeah, is
I
it
can't
cold?
tell you.
Good. What's that grit? I don't know.
I don't know. Yeah.
Me either.
It's got a funny taste. Is it wet? Yeah. Is it quenching your thirst? Yeah. All right. Let's roll on with it. Who cares?
It's a funny taste. That's called PVC, or it's called plastic.
That's rust. What are you talking about?
Why is the water brown? I don't care. Just drink it.
I can't tell you how many times that we would go, I need something to drink. I'm thirsty. Okay. Well, who's got the nearest hose outlet? You got a spigot? Yes. Right over here. Thank you.
That's how you got drinks when we were growing up.
That's how we got our minerals
just go in the
too.
House because you weren't allowed to go in the house. I don't want to see you back here until supper time.
Yep. If you were going back home, you better have you better be
bleeding.
Yeah.
You better be bleeding, and not just some little cut.
It's got to take stitches.
Take me to the hospital. I'm gushing blood right now. No, you're just imagining things. Watch. Okay, let's go to the hospital.
Let me move my finger a second here. Watch this. I can get 6 feet with this blood spurt.
Maybe if we just butterfly it, put a little Neosporin on it, you'll be fine.
Spit. Hang on, we'll just spit in the wound. That'll fix it.
I remember doing stupid, going exploring when we were younger, in the sewer pipes behind the house, like for a mile into the pipes. Not not even wondering hey, what happens if a bunch of water comes rushing at us? As you're crouched down, like frog walking, or like duck walking in this little tunnel for God.
Not even questioning it. Just yep. I have no idea. What's down at the other end? I don't know. Let's go find out. Yeah.
I can see a light down there. It doesn't look too far. Wait a minute. You come out the other end. But I don't even know where we are. How do we get home? We gotta turn around and go back the way we came.
That was pretty much it. Like, how do we get back to the same way we got here? I don't want to have to walk back through all of that. Wow.
Yeah.
Or going out going out. So we're growing up. For me, we had woods. We didn't have the little cul-de-sacs. So we had woods, like miles of woods. You go out there and be like, I'm gonna go build a tree house, and you would take hammers and nails in your pockets, and that would be all you took was the hammer and nails, and you had to be careful not to lose the hammer. The nails you cared about. You can't lose that hammer. That was Dad's hammer.
And you would invariably lose the hammer.
Oh yeah,
absolutely.
Lose the hammer. Somebody would get stabbed with a nail. But you would build a tree house out in the middle of the woods that you would never find again. Like you'd be like, oh, that's the perfect tree. We'll never lose this one. Find you some whatever sticks and brambles you can. Nail them together to make yourself a little ladder out into the tree. Go climb up into the tree. Nail everything down. Leave. Find your way home. And only to try and find your way back. And like, nope, I don't remember where this stupid tree house was at. Yep. Just make a new one. It's fine. It's fine. Quick, go get the nails, and then you'd have to explain to Dad why he was suddenly out of all the nails that he just recently bought. Like, where'd all my nails go? I don't know, Dad. Why has my hammer got mud on it? Crap! I forgot to clean that off.
You and your friends been using my damn tools? No.
Oh.
No, sir. And how did they get all money? Maybe mom was using it.
I don't know.
Maybe it fell. I'm gonna follow you. We definitely we lived in the fuck around and find out era.
Yes.
And we definitely fuck around, and we definitely found out a lot.
We found out what not to do half the time. And that's those of us that survived that era.
Oh, even though I was raised by a single mom with my sister, we were never rich or anything. We were never even well off. But we were happy. That was cool. And we had a good childhood. We'd go camping. We had good times. It was fun.
Oh, I hated camping.
We lived in Colorado. And we were just literally, it would be, you get off of school on Friday afternoon, you would rush home to get in the car or the truck, whatever, and head out. And you were gone until Sunday night. You came back just reeking of smoke from the campfires, dirty as shit.
You are not wrong, Norson.
What's that?
Well, Norson says that we all thought we were really good liars when we were young kids. He's not wrong. I can tell my parents a story.
No, it wasn't me. Well, no.
Honest, I don't know how. It was like that.
It fell. Maybe it fell.
No, I hated camping because, first off, we live on the East Coast, right? So rain is a thing. And no matter where you decide to go camping at, it's going to rain. And not like, a little bit of rain. We're talking like a deluge. You wake up, there's an inch of water inside the tent because the water had gone up over the water protecting that you had put down the night before. But not even that. My father was the one who always decided when it was time to go camping. And my father's idea of time to go camping is 2 a.m. after you had gone to bed. Walk into the room, flip the light on, chase you out, throw you a duffel bag, be like, here, put clothes in here. We're going camping. Leave at 2 a.m. in the morning, drive to the campsite, put camp up, go back to sleep, and then wake back up because now it is 5 a.m. and the sun has come up and is beaming light through the tent canvas. Like,
yikes.
No.
See, growing up in Colorado, most of the storms formed over the mountains and then dumped their rain on the foothills and on the plains there. But it's a high plains desert, so there was not a lot of camping trips that got rained out. There may be some rain that happened, but it wasn't like, I honestly, maybe 2 or 3 times that we just got drenched, rained out the entire weekend. But other than that, I remember, and those weekends sucked because you were either in the tent the entire time, or in rain poncho, the green rain poncho, the green rain poncho that definitely did not smell of chemicals.
Yeah, no, not one bit.
And you're just like sitting at the shoreline on a chair with the fucking fishing pole in the water, and you don't even eat fish. And you're like, this is the only thing I can fucking do.
Yeah.
This is it. That's all I can do. I can sit here and try and catch fish that I'm not going to eat. Or I can go sit in the tent
and be
what?
miserable because there's nothing to do in the tent.
Right. There's no phones. We didn't have phones. There's no video games. There's no
and
television.
right back,
There's no satellite. There's
when girls were just starting to get interesting, and that's when the folks dragged you out to go camping. Like, we're going camping now, and you're like, but Susie was going to call. I was going to talk to this chick.
I had plans. Well, you have new plans.
Yeah. Oh,
you're so unfair.
Yeah.
I can't wait till I grow up and get out of here so I can do what I want to do.
Yeah, guess what? That didn't happen either.
No, you quickly learn that you can't do what you want to do. You have to do a thing called work.
Adulting. They call it adulting now. We called it work back then. You know.
Yeah. Yeah.
Those were the days. That's all I'm going to say. Those were the days.
Didn't Archie
Good, bad,
Bunker
and
have
different.
a song about that?
I think we had a song just about everything.
What happened to predictability? That's Full House. Okay, next.
Johnny says, I grew up in a big city right in front of the house that ran a 10-lane street. Not much greenery except for a few parks. Find something to do there without getting run over. You know, it's probably the reason, Johnny, why I love the city. I like living in a city. I had a job, 3 years ago, that was downtown from where I live at right now. I would drive in and then have to walk. And I was trying to figure out how I could move downtown to live actually inside the city. I'm like, I don't want to have to drive a car to go somewhere. I want to walk. I'm going to go get something to eat. Just walk. That's fine.
I walk to get something to eat. I walk my ass from this chair to the kitchen. The kitchen, back to this chair.
Amen.
Sometimes to the front door to get the delivery. And then other times. Then I have to make a trip to the kitchen also. So
there's the kitchen.
Got to have extra time for planning.
So any new games that you are on the watch for there? What?
Well, let's
something that you're like super excited to get your hands on?
Let's do this.
Yeah, that's the problem, Johnny, is just being able to afford it.
Wish list. Top of the wish list, Dune Awakening. Interested about that. Interested in PAX Day. Asuka looks pretty okay also. Bellwright seems pretty interesting. I wasn't too impressed with Soul Mask, but it was a super early build that I had my hands on, so hopefully this sounds kind of funny. I don't know. Imagine DayZ or Rust, but you're a duck. Consistent world survival game with PvP, PvE, crafting, base building, and hat-wearing ducks wielding weapons.
Okay.
I don't know. I'm kind of interested.
It's actually out on Steam right now. You can get there's a game that Squirrel threw at me about a week or so ago when it finally dropped. It's called Oh Dear. Mostly she threw it at me because we give her such a hard time about deers as a squirrel. And then there's also a series of clips where we surrounded her in zombie deer heads that were screaming at her and scared the life out of her. It's all extremely hysterical. 10 out of 10 would absolutely do that again. But would you classify yourself as a heavy survivalist, or are you like, what's your preferred game stock to play? Like, you're not streaming anything, you're just sitting down playing by yourself. What is the preferred genre game that you enjoy playing?
Here's a little known secret. Most of the time since I started streaming, the only time I play video games is on stream now.
So you don't do any gaming off stream?
Not a lot anymore. Not a lot. A game has not really captured that much of my attention that I feel the need to really just log in at all hours of the night or day since Valheim first came out.
Wow.
Like, I enjoy playing the games, but after a 5-hour stream, I'm kind of done with it. Now there's like, I'll play, like, when I'm done streaming, I will play like World of Warships off stream, because most of the people that hang out on my streams aren't there for World of Warships. And I understand that. And
right.
There's not a lot of I mean, games are, for me anyways, not very active sometimes. So I play those games by myself. But other than that, I really haven't, unless I'm testing the game, and I have to get the testing time in. I really haven't been playing a lot of games offline. Now, there are some games coming up that I know I will not be streaming. Well, I can't say that. That I probably won't stream. Like, I'm really excited for the new NCAA football game that's coming out from EA Sports. I'm a big football fan, if you can't tell. And there's some games I know that won't transfer really well to streaming, but most of the games on my wish list are games that would transfer well to but they're all survival crafting games for the most part, like
right.
survival crafting, this Under a Rock game looks really cartoonish, which is not a game that I play, a game style that I play a lot. But who knows? We'll see.
You never know till you try.
Right. But again, as a survival crafter, different style, again, a different style. All of it similar to Enshrouded and Valheim. And if you click on Aska, it's similar to Valheim and Nightingale. And if you click on Bellwright, it's similar to Bannerlord and Enshrouded. So, like, Rooted is a survival crafting game set in modern day. Which could be kind of interesting also.
Could be.
That, most survival games that are set in modern day are zombie. Well, there's no zombie here. There's no zombies here. I don't know if it's going to be oh, there will be PvP also. So, but you can see a lot of my friends list all has this all wish listed also. Soul Mask is different because it's a survival crafting game set like in the Inca Aztec times.
Yeah, I've seen that game. That game looked kind of interesting.
It the build that I played of it didn't allow you to remap the keys, so I had to try and figure that out because I don't play with a typical keyboard setup. I don't use WASD. I use the arrow keys, and everything goes off of that.
Oh, you animal, you.
That's how I learned. That's how I learned how to play. That's how I learned how to play.
I never could.
So I have the number. I have the number pad also, right? So my arrow keys, and then because I have long, like if you look, I have long, thin fingers. So on my arrow keys, like I have the arrow keys with these 3 fingers, and then the most part is like 0, 1, 4, Control Shift Enter, backslash, all with the pinky off of not taking my fingers off the arrows. Sometimes I'll have to take my fingers off the arrows to use like the delete, the end, the page down keys, things like that. But it all goes off of that / exclamation point. I mean, quotation marks. All of that stuff is within reach of my fingers off of those arrow keys. With the WASD and everything else, it's too bunched up. The keys are too close. I would be taking my see that I learned how to play on a keyboard and mouse playing first person shooter games on computers, right?
Right.
Well, you have to keep your fingers, you have to keep moving in a first person shooter game.
Yes.
Right? And if you take your fingers off of your movement buttons to hit another button because your movement button fingers are in the way, boom, you're dead. Because you're standing still. So by doing that, it allows me to space out where my fingers for movement are and my fingers for everything else are. I know it's weird. I know it's weird.
It's what's comfortable for you. Like I'm a WASD player. I have been since Unreal Tournament days. It was kind of the way we had to control it. You couldn't remap back then.
Yeah.
Which is fine. Like for me, that's the way I grew up with the WASD. However, what I have found, and honestly, the biggest game changer for me is going out and getting. I've got this Razer Tartarus V2 half keyboard.
Okay.
Hey, Delport, take care, my friend. Thank you for stopping by and hanging out with us. I hope that you had some fun.
Nora, Del, thanks for coming in tonight, buddy. Have a great night. Be good, do good. Love you.
But it's a half a keyboard, and legitimately every button that's on this thing is completely configurable. So
see, I had a thing called a Nostromo keypad. Do you remember those? You ever hear about that?
Yes. Yep.
It's the same type of thing. And I couldn't do it. I tried. I bought it. I tried. It was just
interesting.
Weird. It just felt weird for me.
Really?
My brain just wouldn't do it. I don't know. And that was weird. I mean, my hand, your hand would sit on it perfectly. And then it was designed so that those keys were almost exactly where I needed them to be.
Yep.
Didn't take off with me. Didn't take off with me.
It's interesting. Yeah, I don't like I actually went and bought a mini keyboard now. So I have a mini keyboard that sits in front of me, but basically my hands sit at my shoulder length apart. They basically just rest on my armchair, and I have half a keyboard on my left hand and my mouse on the right hand. And I have stopped using my keyboard that sits in front of me unless I'm just trying to type something out.
Mini keyboard, like my whole hand would fit over it, I think. That's a nice mini keyboard. How do you control it? I use tab and enter. Tab and enter. Yeah, that's for left and right.
Yeah, I don't remember when I bought this mini keyboard, but it's like carrying around a brick. I would feel bad to hit somebody with this thing. It is made of solid metal. It's like the first keyboard I've ever had that I picked up. I'm like, wow, that actually weighs like 3 or 4 pounds. Like, let me hit you with this thing. You'll feel that one in the morning.
This is my keyboard.
Yeah. It's really...
And yeah, I definitely need a keyboard that'll always have a number pad on it. If it doesn't have a number pad on it, I can't use the keyboard to game.
It's fascinating.
Yeah.
Absolutely fascinating. Well, I mean, but you know, that's how you play, right? That's how you learn. That's what you know.
Yeah.
There's nothing wrong with it.
It's just weird. Like me.
I would be hesitant on saying weird, because anymore these
Quirky.
days everybody has a thing that's their own. Well, I think it's fascinating, right? So everybody has a thing that's their own. And I think we do that to stand out in amongst the crowd, just as much as it's our identifier. And there's nothing wrong with it. I don't even know that I would call it quirky. I would just say it that's your thing, right? That's the way you do it. That's what makes you unique. That's what makes you the individual that you are, and it's a fantastic feature. Right.
They broke the mold.
Look, how many times did we? I think anybody that grew up in our day and age, like, they broke the mold with me. That was like the saying.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, and that's probably a good thing. Yeah.
I'm like, yeah, they broke the mold when they made me. Yeah. Yep. You're probably right.
Did not
But
reproduce.
that's all right.
It's probably for the better.
Oh, I don't know that. I think everybody should take should be able to share their experiences.
I would have loved to,
and
but
share who they are as a. Well, you say that now, but let's face facts, my friend. Until you die, you can't make that statement. And here you are on Talk Tuesday right now, sharing who you are and your experiences. So there.
Touche.
Haha, suck it. But I mean, that's, I don't know, that's always been like the thing, right? Growing up as kids, we were always, there were expectations of us. Some of us lived up to our expectations. Other of us rebelled against them. And I don't, just, it is what it is. Gen X's were the generation of, we rebelled. That was our thing.
We were the fuck around and find out generation.
The latchkey kids. I'm telling you what, when they were like, hey, look, everybody's got to go home and stay home. I'm like, dude, my childhood trained me for this. What are you talking about? But you're gonna send me home? Psh, absolutely. Let's go. I can go stay at home for a couple of years. I'll be fine.
Absolutely.
Yeah, video games. I'm good. I won't have to report to work. You're just gonna make me sit at home and wait till you figure out what's going on. Pff, that sounds like dealing with my parents. I'm okay. I'll see you in 15, 20 years. It'll be all right.
Yeah. For sure. Oh, boy.
So,
yeah.
do you have any like inspirational people that inspire you? Whether it's in the community, whether it's like real life people that you watch, just like who inspires you as a person, as whether for muse, that sort of thing. When you're looking for creative energy to make a build or try something out of the ordinary.
Tough one. I take so many, like I said when I was talking about my building earlier.
Mm-hmm.
I take so many bits and bobs from, like, I can look at one of my builds and I can go, I got this idea from this person. I got that idea from that person. I can see the ideas. I don't know how I could impart that onto other people other than to, I mean, I can't, like, I watch a lot because I have a lot of free time. I watch a
Mm-hmm.
lot of YouTube videos. A lot of YouTube videos. I would say my biggest YouTube videos are like Zom Zero. I watch um, The Basic Builder. I watch oh, there's a bunch of them. Yeah, that's his video, of course. I like a lot of Dawn's builds. Like I've been in, I mean, Dawn. Oh, Morning Darkness. Sorry,
No, you're fine. We
is really
we
um like her builds. She builds a lot of things that her builds are. She likes to put details in her builds, and that's where I think I started to get, instead of just building a brown box or whatever.
mm-hmm.
Uh, I want my builds overall to look like they're used, like they're being used all the time. Like
Right.
the bakery build. It has, it's
I love the
not
bakery
only
build though. That was a fantastic build.
not only does it have, things in a display case, but if you go into the production room, it looks like things are being worked on or being packed into
Yep.
crates, or or behind the counter. It looks like he's got like crates of things that he's unpacking to put into the shelves, or the bread that has a knife right next to it on a cutting board, because you need a knife on a cutting board for the bread.
Yeah, it's got that touch of realism to it.
Yeah, that's Valheim allows me to do a lot of that, but at the same time, not enough of it. That's why I have to use the mods that I use in my building like the item stand all items, so I can put anything in the game on an item stand for decorating purposes. The Gizmo mod, which allows me to twist and turn a build piece 360 degrees to be able to build realistic or more realistic looking structures. Although the great thing about the builds that I have going on so far in my showcase world, there's only 1 or 2 instances where I used Gizmo to build the structure. And it's only 1 or 2 pieces in that structure that is built using Gizmo. Where I used Gizmo the most was allowing me to twist and turn the item stands on those builds so that I could hide things to light them up. Like the fueling totems that light up the bridge are all on item stands that are turned backwards so that the only thing that's showing is the small piece of the item stand, where the fueling totem is actually in the beam, being covered up by the beam, then gives off the glow. I couldn't do that if I didn't have Gizmo.
Right.
And item stand all item working in tandem so that I could put the fueling totem on the item stand. I would say that I would have to say that if you had to pick one person that I watch all the time for inspiration of building, it would be Dawn. Do I get inspiration from a lot of sources on YouTube and Twitch? Yes, but could I pinpoint 1 or 2 besides Dawn that I watch on a regular basis? No. Because I've watched so many YouTube videos of building in Valheim, I get a lot of suggestions on my main page of building in Valheim. So I
YouTube algorithm at work.
Right. I could pull from, I can see some guy that only has 200 views on a freaking awesome build and be like, that's a really cool idea. I wouldn't have thought to use that piece in that way or in that instance. So I'm going to take that now, and the next time I build a build that would require me to use that build piece, I'm going to remember that build piece in that way, or I'm going to bookmark it and label it as build piece X, for example, or whatever.
Right.
And next time I have a build and I'm going to be like, God, I wish I could do this, I'm going to look at my bookmarks and go, do I have something that I could use that? And literally, if you look at my bookmarks on, here. No, I can't. Yeah, I can. Okay. You come over to YouTube here, right? If you look at my YouTube bookmarks, look. Valheim. That's it.
That is quite the collection of links.
Again, I have a lot of free time and watch a lot of YouTube videos. So when people go, how'd you come up with that? It could have been 10 different people that I got bits and pieces of ideas off of.
But that's the thing, right? Creativity is a muse of some sorts. You take a little bit from somebody, you take a little bit from somebody else, and then you wrap it all together and you make something completely new and unique based on your current situation, based on what you've just done. As a software developer, I write primarily in Golang, right? So the majority of the stuff that I write in Golang is some of it is me writing the logistics of it, but I use a lot of libraries written by somebody else who went, I've got this idea. I'm going to write this chunk of code that's going to fit this and solve this problem for me, and then I make it available for everybody else. And I go, I need a thing to do a thing here. Oh, look, I can borrow from this person. And so I'm adding on to he's contributing to my project, and then I'm turning around making another project that has another library that I then publish and put out there, and somebody else goes, "Ooh, I could use that." And so you're just contributing to the overall whole, where you're still you're still creating something new. You're still reinvigorating the totality of the community, and you're still giving back to the community. Even if you only use a piece of it here or a piece of it there, that's still your contribution to the community. Even if you borrowed that from somebody else and you stuck it in the thing that you're building, you have now just incorporated their contribution into yours and then further evolved that contribution and made that a bigger thing and put it back out there into the world. So I would not discount your work as being, I got this from person A or I got that from person B. What you've done is you've just helped to continue to grow and expand upon an idea that somebody started out with. You can look at like pieces of music out there and it's the same thing, right?
Oh yeah. That's the whole preference behind that whole 4-chord song skit, comedy skit. If you've never watched that, you absolutely need to watch the 4-chord skit by Axis of Awesome. It is amazing.
And they don't and they don't ever like repeat the same songs. They've got like several different versions of that 4-chord, and it's still the same 4 chords, but it's entirely different songs every time.
Yeah, it's amazing. It's amazing. I've never been what somebody would consider artistic in any other form before Valheim, ever. And I don't know why Valheim brought it out in me, but it did.
Right.
It was cool.
It did.
It was cool.
I've seen a lot of your builds, and you do really good work. So, I mean,
thank you.
For what it's worth, Rutherford would like to know, what is your death row meal of choice?
If my mom was still alive, if she's still alive and I ever have to have a death row meal and she's still alive, it would be her fried chicken, mashed potatoes and milk gravy, which is a white gravy, scalloped corn. Some people call it corn casserole.
I haven't had a milk gravy since my own mother.
Just because I'd never be able to eat them again, I probably also have to have, it's weird to add on to this meal, but probably a couple of deviled eggs.
Dude, you're out there to like kill them in the execution room, aren't you?
Yeah.
Yes, brother Fred. I believe he is a Midwest native.
I was born in Germany. I was moved to Colorado when I was a baby and lived there until the middle of my sophomore year in high school. And then I moved back to the Midwest and have lived here ever since. A few offshoots here or there because of work or whatever, but Midwest has been home. Yeah. Now I got moved to Colorado because of the commit for my lungs. And the only thing keeping me back in the Midwest is my mom. Once mom passes away, I will more than likely be moving to one of the 4 corner states Arizona, New Mexico, Utah, Colorado, specifically because of the climate for my lungs.
There you go.
But there's a lot of Midwestern in me, for sure. Yes. Oh, I'm sorry. Should I say there's a lot of Midwestern in me, don't you know? Yeah.
It's fine. It's fine. Right?
Yeah, it screams Midwest. Yeah.
Well, Rutherford being a Midwestern himself.
Yeah. Could go with some heritage foods from my younger days. I might need some lefse, a little bit of Kringle as a sweet treat at the end there.
Oh, if you're gonna start doing German stuff, I'm gonna have to get Sandy in here then.
I mean, Kringle is basically a flat pastry that's in the big circle-ish, oblong more or less, that's got fruit on it most of the time, and a little bit of icing. Do you go potty? You go potty? You gotta go potty. Yeah.
He is desperate for your attention, that's for certain. Yes,
No,
Johnny's here too. I
silly.
forgot. Yes, Johnny's German as well. Johnny, you so very rarely talk a whole lot of German that I forget that you are German.
Johnny helps me out on Mr. Anthropot's chat sometimes. They'll be talking and Johnny will be like, "This is what they just said, Whoop."
Johnny's good people. Johnny is absolutely good people.
Unfortunately, he lives on the other side of the world, so when I stream, Johnny's going to bed most of the time. But
well,
Johnny,
usually when I'm streaming, he's going to bed too, so don't feel bad.
it's all right. Oh my goodness, somebody's being a puppy again.
Ooh, somebody being a puppy. Okay, so we are in our last 15 minutes of this interview, which you've been a fantastic guest tonight. Whoop. This has been an absolute treat.
Appreciate it.
But as we wind down, we have a few specialized questions that we also like to ask here as we move forward into the evening. The first being that if you had to go and give advice to either a younger version of yourself getting started with streaming or somebody starting streaming, what piece of advice would you give that person as to how to get going, how to be as successful as not successful as yourself, however you want to determine that?
It's a grind. Don't expect initial results. Just because I had more than 100 followers when I first started streaming, there are many times where you will stream to nobody. Nobody. And if somebody comes in, make sure that you greet them and you interact with them. Interact with your community. It's tough. It's tough to focus on your game, especially if you're really getting into it, and look over or look down or wherever your chat is and to continue to engage in them. That's one of the things that I lack the most of is I'll look over and there'll be 30 messages and the people that were in chat trying to talk to me are gone. They left already because I didn't engage in them. And be consistent. As consistent as you can be. I know not everybody has a chance like me who can literally have their life revolve around the streaming that they do. But be as consistent as you can be. If you say you're going to stream and something isn't legitimately keeping you away from stream. Sometimes you may not feel like it, but maybe starting the stream and interacting with the community will help you get into it. Even if you stream for a little while and you say, you know what? I'm not feeling it today. I'm sorry, guys. You know, I hope you understand. Or communicate that with your community in another way, or your Discord, what have you. And just know that the people are there for you, and be the real you. Don't put on a show, because people will see through that really quickly. Just be you, and your community will find you. It's really as simple as that. You don't have to be all glitzy and glamoury and full of energy and pumping up all the time. Does that help? Sure. I'm sure it does. I'm not saying I'm a big streamer by any means. I barely have 750 followers. But I didn't get there by being all woo, partying and loud noises going off, and well, unless I didn't turn the volume down, but you know, just be yourself.
FYI, you are at 795 followers. You are almost 800, my friend.
Yeah. I actually do that, but it's like I said, the numbers don't drive me, and don't let the numbers drive you. The numbers will come. If you're yourself and you're putting out entertaining content, people will come. Sometimes it will take longer than what it's taken me, or what it takes. You know, I know people that have been in the game for 5 or 6 years that don't have as many followers as me. That's very humbling, because I know they're better streamers than me. I know that they put out better content than I do. And for them to not have as many followers as I do, it's beyond me. And finally, don't forget where you came from. Remember, when you get bigger, help promote those smaller people, because you were once those smaller people. And you know how important it is to get every single eye on you, on your content, as you can. Just, you know, be yourself, and be honest, and be consistent. Yeah, that's it.
Very wise words. That's like one of my favorite questions to ask, though, is to see what sort of advice do people suggest. And I think that's the first one I've heard that hasn't been, you know, just start, just get out there and do it.
But there's going to be times where you do not feel like being on camera, or you do not feel like talking to people at all. You know, especially if you're somebody like me. But, you know, that person may come into your chat and have some fantastic news that's going on in their life that they may want to share with you. And you need to understand that that person coming into your chat to share that news with you is a connection that you've made with somebody, not just somebody that comes and watches your video games or your channel. You've made a connection with somebody. Celebrate that. Celebrate them, celebrate their, you know, their achievement, or their, you know, or commiserate with them when they have something bad happen, you know. You know, like I said, life is tough, man.
It is.
And unfortunately, people share good news way more than they share bad news. just part of life. It's the way it is. A lot of people compartmentalize things.
As much as very, very true.
That's why I say, if you need to talk, even if it's just about bullshit, if you need to talk, send me a message. As soon as I see it, we'll talk. Because trust me, I don't have a lot of people in my life besides the people on online. And if I don't have them to talk to, I really don't have anybody to talk to. And you may not have people like that in your life. You may not have somebody that you can share your good news with or your bad news with. Some of us are getting their hands eaten by a puppy.
It's a very happy poopy. Johnny says, you just stay the way you are, Whoop, because you are a wonderful human being.
Thanks, Johnny.
You have fans. It is
I'm happy that I met you, buddy.
All right.
All right.
Well, I am going to wrap things up. If you are,
I just need to go to the restroom, get something to drink real fast.
All right,
and come back over here, and then I'll start streaming my stuff.
You do what you got to do, and then I will send this raid right on over to you guys, and then you can take them on a fantastic journey.
Fantastic journey of trying to figure out what the hell to build in Shrouded. Because, like I said, I have a lot of Valheim things to choose from to get inspiration from. Don't have that long of a list of how to do this or that with Enshrouded. We're getting there, though. We'll get there.
Yeah. And I'm certain you will. I'm excited to see what you do.
Guess what the first thing I built in Enshrouded was? Big brown box.
You know, first thing I built in Enshrouded was a big brown box. So,
yeah.
Of course, for all it is worth, as much as I play Minecraft in these survival games, all I ever build are big brown boxes.
I'm getting a hardcore push from my from people in my community to play that game. Like Judged and Seawage are like hardcore pressing me to play that game.
What? Oh, Minecraft?
Yeah.
Minecraft is only really fun if you play modded Minecraft. The vanilla, you can do the vanillas, and a lot of people like to do the vanilla. I'm not much of a vanilla player. I like my modded Minecraft, and I like it well enough that I will play that and stick longer with the world that way than I do with a vanilla world.
Huh. I can see that.
There's way more to do in the vanilla in a modded world, especially when you have controls over the mods that you can go in there. You really can make that game feel exactly like what you want it to feel. And honestly, the vanilla world requires a lot more imagination than what I have. I am more of an automation guy, so I like building my contraptions and my machines, and modded Minecraft allows me to do that. Vanilla, not so much. I mean, I can. It just, at that point, I'm borrowing from everybody else's because the circuitries are all pretty much the same.
Yeah.
Sounds like that's
Valheim.
Yep. Pretty much. So.
Okay.
All right.
So I'm going to stop. Thank you guys for coming in tonight. Thank you guys for engaging and asking questions. I appreciate you. You guys have a fantastic night.
Yes, and we will see you.
Something to drink and stuff, and then I'll meet you guys over on my channel.
Sounds like a plan.
Thanks, Nori. I appreciate it.
Thank you. Well, yes, thank you. I appreciate it. It's been a good time.
Absolutely. Take care, guys.
And yeah, that's interesting. I don't need to do that. There we go. We can just like this. And with that, we're going to spend a few moments here as we talk about our next upcoming things that are going to happen, and then we're going to raid you guys on over to Whoop to go watch. This is, by the way, anybody that was interested in the puzzle, this is the puzzle that we were building. It's a cute little poochie. Absolutely fantastic. I thought it was appropriate. I got pretty good. I got almost most of the outside of the dog. All that was left was the inside of the dog to take care of. Anyways, so coming up, right, next Talk Tuesday is going to be featuring Chalinar. So you're not going to want to miss out on that. She is our next week's guest. Friday is going to be more of our shenanigans stuff. If Wars is there, we'll do some more Shift Happens. If not, then it'll be whatever we scrounge up to do. Saturdays are going to be our new storied Saturdays, unless I've got somebody slotted for. In fact, I don't have anybody slotted this week for Mod Love, so we will probably do some more storied Saturday. So if you have your short stories you want read, get those submitted now or submitted soon. Not now, but soon. So we'll have them ready. Otherwise, you may get stuck with whatever I decide to pick out, and we'll probably play a little bit more of that Lost in Random as well. It was such a good time. It was such a good fun game. We'll see if we can't play another chapter. It seems like I was looking at it. That game's going to go by really quick, according to Xbox. It's like a 6-hour game. So if we do like an hour a run. A stream, then we'll get a little bit of playtime out of that, and we'll do some stories as well. And then hopefully on Sunday we'll be back doing some more BG3 with the guys, and that's going to be fun. We'll be looking forward to that as well. But all of that said, I would say don't go anywhere. We're going to send you lovely folks over to Whoop's channel. So he's got the BRB up right now, but that's all right. He already knows you guys are coming, and you've already been hanging out anyways, talking with him. So we're going to hit the end screen, but don't go anywhere. Don't go anywhere. Because just because the end screen comes up doesn't mean we're quite done just yet. As soon as the scene wants to load up, there we go. There it is. That's the end screen. Oh, it's been fantastic. It's been fun. You guys have been amazing. You guys have been fantastic. Thank you all for coming by, hanging out, and spending a little bit of time with us. We have had today's special guest, Whoop You for Free, has kept us hugely entertained. We've learned an awful lot about this guy, had fantastic conversations, and overall just had an amazing Talk Tuesday. We are going to send a raid over to him because he is going to continue on, and you guys can enjoy even more of that fantastic content brought to you by this fantastic streamer. I will be back here on Friday evening. Looking forward to spending another wonderful end of the week with you fantastic people. And we'll look forward to having some fun. It has been such a good time. These Talk Tuesdays have been amazing. I have been enjoying them. I hope you guys have been enjoying them. I hope you've been learning something from each of our special guests. And I hope that you are excited for the next ones. After Chalinar next week, we'll have, I know the schedule says Blue Potato Cat, but that is actually Miss Crimson Cat. She has renamed herself, will be the following week. So I suspect that one is probably going to be a little earlier in the day, just because of time zones at that point. And then we'll have Sniff rounding out the end. Will be the second to last weekend, last Tuesday of this month. And then Bombs Away will round out the end of our April lineup. So still lots of fantastic streamers to sit down, talk to, and learn more about as we continue on through the month of April. If you are interested in getting on a Talk Tuesday, we have just now started into June, but there is the first Tuesday in June is taken, but we have the rest of June is still open and available. If you have interest in showing up and being a participant, reach out, let me know. We'll be happy to get you in on a Talk Tuesday coming to you. Hey, is it Dan? Hi, Lisa. But you guys have all been fantastic. So let's get the raid going here. For free. So again, he's been our special guest. We're going to go right over to him. He's going to continue on. He's going to be doing some Enshrouded. He's going to be doing some Enshrouded building. It's going to be a good time. And again, if you're interested in being on Talk Tuesday, let me know. And until next time, continue to be the fantastic, fabulous, and amazing people that I already know you are. And until next time, bye for now.